Exciting.
Absolutely.
We are live. We are live, and I'm excited. 15th of is it the 15th of April? Yeah, 15th of April,
Sounds good.
7 o'clock Sydney time, and we are talking, or I will be talking to the lovely Angela Faye. Now, I just want to say, first of all, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, because we get people from all over the place, actually, Angela. It's really lovely. So anybody that's on, just pop your little, pop your voice in here and say hello, and we will see you and talk to you. Don't forget to share your questions and your names for healing, because that is extremely important, and we will do our best to help them out. And don't forget, all the names go into my beautiful, lovely healing book. This is actually the Anne Boleyn prayer book, and it was actually bought from Hever Castle. I'm filling Angela in because she doesn't know. Hever Castle, which is one of Henry VIII's palaces, and that's where he lived with her, Anne Boleyn. So that actually came from Hever Castle. So it's very special. Wow. Yeah. So say hello, whoever's out there. I know there's a couple of people on, which is really lovely. We've got the lovely Angela, who I will introduce in a minute. But I first of all wanted to say something about the situation that happened in Bondi this weekend. I purposely didn't put anything on my Facebook page. Lots of people did, which is wonderful. But I just wanted to send out love and healing to all the people that were involved, including the family of the guy that was the perpetrator, because they're going through just as much as everybody else is going through. And it was, and it's not only the people that have been killed and the families, it's the people that survived that and then have got to go through all the trauma of what happened on that day. And if only I should have, I could have, all of those scenarios. And it's one of those things that will live with people for a very, very long time. Hi, Robert. Lovely to see you. Put your names down. Say hello. Tell me where you're from, because it's always nice to know who we're talking to. So, yes, so carrying on with the Bondi situation, continued healing for all of those who are still in hospital, and for those who were there to witness what happened. I mean, it must have been so terrifying. You see all those pictures and think, how on earth do you deal with something like that? So we've got Rob Jones from Brisbane. We've got Nikki Walker from England. Nikki Walker is one of my son's best friends, and they all went to school together from the age of 13, and they're all still friends, which is really, really lovely. So let's send out thoughts for everybody that was involved in the Bondi situation. Now, my lovely, lovely guests that I've got here. So names, please let me know who's out there. Names and where you're from as well. So I have got the lovely Angela Faye here. Now, Angela, you and I met through Rose Rodder yes. I can't even remember what year it was. Can you?
2019. 2019.
Oh, wow.
April 2019. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you know. My cousin always laughs at me. She said, you haven't got any head for dates or times or anything. But okay, 2019. And it was one of the most special meetings. I mean, Rose Rodder is incredible. And she said, we must go up and see Angela. And then I was very, very lucky to have a healing with Rose, yourself, and Melissa.
Yes.
Okay. We got Suze Webb from Coulsdon in the UK, Natty Cat, which is Melbourne, Lorraine from Adelaide, Leanne, I'm not sure where you're from, Lenny, how lovely to see you as well. Anyway, so there I am, and that was actually at Rose's place, wasn't it? Tracy?
Yes, that was November. That was in the November 2018. I reckon when we met with Rosemary in Bordertown.
That's right. It was in Bordertown in her home. And Kim Healy from Brisbane. That's lovely. And I was very honoured and blessed to have a healing from these three ladies. Now, what I wasn't expecting was the incredible experience that I actually had. I mean, I've had lots of healings over the years, and I've been doing this work for a very long time, but not once have I had a healing where it felt like not 3 pairs of hands, but a million pairs of hands. And there's all this, and it was very powerful. I could feel everything that was happening to my body. It felt as if my body, I remember, felt as if my body was lifting off the table. It felt as if I was being stretched and twisted. But it was the language that you were speaking. Now, you call it light language, I think. Is that right
Yes.
terminology? Okay,
Light language or soul speak.
soul speak. But what was amazing, because I'm sitting there going, what on earth's going on? Oh my goodness, what? I didn't believe it. I really didn't believe it. And I thought, this must be trickery or whatever. But you guys were all talking to one another and knew exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah.
But when it finished, I felt as if everything had been pulled out of me, then pushed back together in the right places. That's how brilliant it felt. And what's interesting since then is I've met another couple of people who do these light languages or the soul speak, and they all come from the same area. Now, what is that about? Is that something pertaining to your area? And so tell us, is that right? And where does this stuff come from? Now, I know I've got here that, there's an awful lot of other things which I will cover that you do. But I'm fascinated by this. Is this connection to ETs? Is it connection to, I don't know. Tell me.
So for the work that I've done on myself, the languages that come through are actually me in a parallel universe, me as a soul, which I've only recently found out in the last couple of years. And I'm like, oh, right, really? But it actually extends further than that. These are beings of a higher vibration, a higher frequency that we can channel through, which is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And yeah, I am aware that we have some beautiful soul speak here in the Riverland and down in Bordertown Way, which is just fascinating. And it's really interesting because we all have different stories. So my story on how this all happened for me was when my sister asked me to come to a church. And I said, what do you mean a church? And she goes, come on, come with me to this church. And I'm like, okay, no worries. So we went, and I don't even remember what it was about. But at the end, these two guys came up to us and said, would you like a blessing? And I'm like, okay. And I looked at my sister and she was like, yeah. And I've gone, okay. And I felt a little bit scared because two guys, two girls walked to the back of a church in this little cozy little room, and we sat down. We held hands and we brought the Holy Spirit through with the word hallelujah. So we were just reciting that word over and over and over again. These other guys and my sister were all speaking in light language, in tongue. Me, no. I had this awful noise come out of me, and they stopped and they said, you're doing it wrong. And I'm like, doing what wrong? This is a blessing. I had no idea what was going on. I said, come on, let's do it again. So once again, we held hands and brought the Holy Spirit through with the word hallelujah. Now, once again, they were off talking this beautiful language, and me, I had this sound that just came out of me. And they're like, whatever's in there is pretty powerful, but you go away and practice. I'm like, okay, here we go.
I wonder if Angela, that's because you're such a strong person and such a stubborn person, and I'm not going to let anything happen to me because I want me to make this happen.
Absolutely. And, I got in my car and I had to drive, it was about an hour and a half to pick my children up. And I recited this blessing over and over and over and over and over again in my head in language. And it was like, oh my goodness. And it was like, I couldn't stop. And so I had to ring Rosemary. Rosemary, this has happened. What do I do? She goes, just relax. Just go with it. And I've been working with it and channeling ever since then. So that was back in 2012. So it's been a very exciting journey, getting to know the channels and who they are and what they can offer in a healing, knowing who is me and who are other beings.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that's what I thought was amazing. And that feeling of being everything taken out and then put back together in the right places. I need to come and see you again, by the way.
Yeah.
Was really quite spectacular. I mean, I've had
Mm.
lots and lots of healings over the years, but I have never, ever, ever experienced anything like that. And it was, once I got over they're crazy people. They're just making all this up. This garbled stuff coming out of their mouths. And then I realized that it wasn't. And then having seen now, what's her name? Mary Rodwell, Mary Rodwell. She does. She speaks to aliens, and she's a very intelligent, educated, very highly educated lady. Travels the whole world talking about the alien beings and them communicating. And she also has on some of her videos that I've seen people that are doing, and it's not only the language, it's the signs with the fingers and it's really incredible. Yeah. So hang on, I've got to say hello to a couple of people before we go any further.
Absolutely.
So we got Tracy. Yes, hello Tracy. And no, I'm not wearing Ethel's dress. So Edith Ethel is my tailor's done. My granddaughters are around today, and they decided that they had to redress her. So she went in my bedroom. I'm sitting here. And all of a sudden, the girls came in here in my clothes and my shoes and the makeup. Oh, my goodness me. So Edith Ethel didn't get redressed. So, no, this is out of my wardrobe, Tracy, not off. So Denise, lovely to see you. Yes, Natty, it is fascinating stuff. Alana from Adelaide, Vanessa, hello. Eva from Sweden, Tracy, you're funny. Mark Bucknell, hello. Ty, how can we find out if we have healing power potential? Well, actually, everybody, now I say this all the time.
Yes.
Some people disagree with me. Mark Bucknell is in England, by the way, and he says to say hello, Angela.
Okay. Hi, Mark.
So we're all born with the ability to connect to spirit and to heal. It is a natural phenomena. Or is it a phenomena or just an ordinary? It's just ordinary. We're just born with it. But we go into this world and we get to about between 5 and 8. And the big bad world pushes all of that abilities away. If you're lucky, you've got parents who encourage you. If you're like myself, you were determined that this is something that I don't understand and I'm scared about it, but I'm not going to push it away because I don't want to. And then there's some people that don't actually develop it or find out that they've got something like that until something traumatic happens to them. So it's all different things, but we are all born with this ability. So everybody, Ty, can do the healing. Now, I said to you, you all last week, I've got my healing book, which is my little prayer book here. But you can just get any old notebook. You can even have a post-it notes, sticker, and just write people's names on there. And that will work. Okay. You can heal yourself as well as being able to send out those healing energies to other people as well. So nice question. Very good question. So, okay. So how much of this do you actually do, Angela? I mean, do you do this all the time?
Yep. So most days a week, I see clients, 4 clients a day. So that's 8 hours of connected into spirit a day, 4 days a week.
Wow.
So I love what I do. Love what I do.
And you do a whole array. Sorry, you do a whole array of things because you've got a shop, which I'm really excited to see that you've got a shop in Rialto Street in Renmark. Renmark is on the Murray River, and it is the most spectacular place. It is beautiful. But you're a Reiki master, teacher, practitioner, and you teach children, adults, and teenagers to expand their gifts and intuition using cards and crystals. I want to talk to you about your crystal grids as well afterwards, so I don't want to forget. And you do weekends with people as well, which is really, really lovely. So you've got an awful lot to offer. You've got this, I know when I first met you, I thought, oh, she's so gentle. She's so
Oh,
kind. She's so, and I was just really taken aback by that. But one of the things that I want to share is, you remember, so Angela organized for me in her back garden. She got all these gazebos, and I did a mediumship demonstration in this twinkly fairy lit. Oh, it was just beautiful. And then that night, I was staying with Rosemary on a houseboat on a
mm,
tributary of the Murray River. Now, we went to bed. Rosemary and I are in separate cabins. Do you remember this story? We went to bed, and I was on my laptop, and there was a knock at the door. Val, Val, are you awake? Val, Val. So I went to the door, and there's Rosemary stood there in her undies and her pajama top. She said, "There's something going on outside," and I can picture that. I can picture that so clearly. I said, "What is it? What is
mm,
it?" She said, "Let's go out." So we went out to the back of the boat, which was so the front of the boat was on the landing bit, and the back of
mhm.
the boat
Yep.
in the water, and we could hear this noise, and it was weird because it sounded like ducks flapping their wings at a million hours or a million minutes per hour. It was incredible. And then we heard this whoosh come up the river, and the boat's doing this, and we're holding on to each other for grim death and wondering and then it stopped. It
Mhm,
just stopped. And then there was noise over there, and then there was noise over there, and there was noise over there. Then we had the rattling and the rock and rolling again. Then it stopped. And then there was this whoosh, and it went the other way. Anyway, she and I went to bed, and we were both terrified. It was incredible. And we got up in the morning, and Rosemary said, "I had them by my bed last night." I said, "So did I." And she said, "They were talking to me all night." So did I. And it was like I'm lying on the bed, and and I sound like a crackpot talking about this, but this really happened, and I
mhm.
wasn't drunk, and I wasn't dreaming. I'm lying on the bed, and there is somebody standing alongside me, opposite my head, and all I could hear was this ooh, and it was on variants like that.
Mm,
And I'm absolutely terrified. I was terrified. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't move. But I knew that whatever was going on was good and it was okay.
yes.
Then I told you guys the following morning. You said, "Why on earth didn't you ring us? We would have come down."
Yes,
But
exactly.
there must be
Mm,
something about your area where this is prevalent. And I know that I got told that there is a lake where people go and sit on the edge of the lake
mhm.
and watch spaceships coming out of the water, and you can see the runways lit up. So next time I come down, I'm going there.
Yes,
But it
yes.
was just an incredible experience. Um, yeah, sorry. Lenny says he's a psychic medium and loves what he does. And Nikki has just said, I found out the other day, Summer, who's 12, has a healing crystal in her school blazer. Yay! My granddaughters are 6 and 8. They've been collecting crystals for at least 3 years. And the little boy next door, he's 5, and his baby brother is not even 2, and he adores his crystals. So I think it's great that we're teaching our children the value.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, it
yeah,
is it is so important.
yeah,
I see a lot of children, and that's why we've made the kids play dates, so we can help them, so we can show them and let them know that this is actually natural and this is normal and this
yeah,
is a gift.
yeah.
Feel the energy. I've made these tiny little pouches to put little crystals in, and you can pin them to the inside of your shorts or something like that, so you don't lose them. And kids love taking them to school. They feel the power of that, and using certain crystals for them to feel confident to speak at school. And
Mm.
yes, I love it. It's awesome. It's
It,
really
it
good.
was it was funny because a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a couple of months ago, I took the girls and I treated them to a visit to the crystal shop, and they came
Mm,
away with $80 worth of crystals. Oh my gosh! But Florence came in and she said, I can't remember if it was Florence or Lainey, came in and said, "This stone is buzzing." She could
mhm,
feel the energy from this, and she's not making it up. this
Mhm.
stone is buzzing. But I'd like to know, Nikki, what the crystal is that she's got. You may not know what the crystal is, but whatever color it is, because she's obviously chosen that instinctively, and it's right for her, which is really good.
Mm.
So you may have comments coming up on yours that I don't know about, Angela. Anyway, there we go. I'm a psychic medium, and it's an honor to connect with
Yes,
spirit. It's
absolutely. Yeah.
purple. It's probably an amethyst.
Mhm.
I would
Mm.
say it's an amethyst.
That is a real common, beautiful common crystal to have, for
Mm,
children.
mm,
Helps with protection. It's a great healer, great
yeah,
for headaches,
yeah,
and just centering and calming. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. But
When's
to
when's
to oh, sorry.
yeah, I was going to say when's her birthday, Nikki, because it's also the Aquarius birthstone. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, that would sound right.
That
Protection.
would yeah, emotional trauma. Yep,
Yeah, yeah,
yep,
yeah, yeah,
and that would bring the calming. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. August.
Oh, she's 30th of August. So
Yeah,
what does that make her? That is that a Leo? No.
I
No,
couldn't
it's
tell
the
you.
next one. It's the next one on after Leo. Okay, yeah.
Mm.
Selenite
Mm.
does that for me, and clear quartz, says Mandy. Donna Rutherford. Now it's really funny. You don't come on my lives normally, but you and I had a great conversation the other day, and I wanted to talk about something that was that come up in our conversation. So I hope you don't mind. Um,
Good.
yeah, Vanessa says she loves all her crystals. I've got hundreds of them, and they're all around my house, and I love it. Oh, Bella, boo, and back from the dead. I hope. Yeah. Well, look, I keep
I've
these.
yeah.
These are in front of my computer to clean energies. Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Snap,
absolutely.
snap. But
But
yeah.
I've got these at the minute in my
Okay.
chair,
Yeah.
and these are called a Shiva Lingam, and they
Oh,
bring balance. And
yeah,
so when I sit opposite a client, they're great to hold, and I can actually say, "Yes, these are rocks. These are
yeah,
stones. They're not crystals."
yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, well, it's funny because the girls, they knew that I loved, they call them my stones. So when they were
mm,
really, really little, they'd go out and they'd come back, oh, they'd come and see me and say, we brought you some stones, Nanny. And they were literally stones that they picked up on the street. And I've kept them because they were obviously important to them. So,
yeah.
and I think it is absolutely gorgeous. I don't think we value or we underestimate the healing abilities that are in crystals.
Mm,
They are so, so powerful. I remember in houses that I've lived in, and I was told to bury a clear quartz crystal at the front door and the back door, and
correct.
it
Yep.
protects your house.
Mhm.
It's just lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Donna. It's a Virgo, so she's a Virgo with a
Mm.
with an amethyst. I'll have to look that up. But Nikki, I'll send you what an amethyst means because I've got my little crystal Bible here. In fact, I could probably find it and tell you right now, but it's not jumping out at me.
And
Uh,
neither is mine, and normally I know that.
yeah, but I know that it is healing. Um, oh, isn't that annoying when you can't find? I do this every week. I go to get a book and I can't find what I'm looking for. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll find out, Nikki, and I'll let you know. Um,
And I
yes,
agree with you, Lenny. I love it when you find a crystal. You don't buy it,
yeah,
but you find it, gifted it.
yeah,
It is so precious. So,
and
and then as well
yeah.
as losing them, when you lose a crystal, you know it's not meant for you anymore. And so when someone finds it, that's even better.
Do you know, I'd never heard that before. And I was on a train Ian was with me. We were in Portugal and I had a black tourmaline bracelet. And on the train, it just burst. And I went to pick up
Hmm.
all the pieces. And the guy that I was with said, leave them. They're not
Hmm.
meant for you. And I just left them. And I thought, okay, it's obviously done what it needed to do. And I know that tourmaline is an extremely powerful protector.
Hmm.
But I do have tourmaline up my front and back doors because I
Good.
had somebody's energy infiltrated my home. So I have
Mm.
to stop that happening. And people look at you as if you've got three heads when you tell them things like that. But it does happen. It really does. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, Nat didn't believe in crystals. But
Mm,
when I clearly heard objectively out loud spirit tell me to
mm,
get a certain type of crystal, I
mhm.
was not arguing and bought 5 of them. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect.
And Bella's saying that M, who's a beautiful friend who's in spirit, gave her
Mm,
a stone the night she died. While we
mm,
had our dream visitation goodbyes, still trying to work out what that means. A little white river one. Oh, that's really
mm.
beautiful. Well, if it's white, it's pure,
Yep.
and it's going to give you an awful lot of healing. So,
Mm,
yeah, and Lenny says he often feels the heat, coldness, or tingling when in the presence of other people and crystals. Yeah,
mm,
and they are extremely, extremely powerful. I know my energies in my home have changed. I bought myself a an amethyst geode.
yep.
Actually, it was gifted to me, and it sits by the front door. She is a she, and it faces the front door.
Mhm.
Incredible, incredible powers since then. So tell me about working with children. I love that. I've only ever done one workshop many years ago, and I had the children sitting in the cabinet. You know
Mm,
what I mean? So it's like a
mm,
black cabinet, and you put them in there, and you ask them, "What are you feeling? What are you seeing?" Oh my goodness me, I was so
mhm,
jealous because these
mhm.
kids just blah, 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 and they could see so much. It was just fantastic. So you
Yeah.
must get that with the kids that you work with.
Look, we have some beautiful children. We have two different types. So we have a day for the 3-year-olds to the teens, and then 11, sorry, 10 to 16. So we have two different groups. And with the young ones, it is just so much fun. We sit on the carpet, and we let them feel their own energy because a lot of them
Mm,
don't know. So rubbing your hands together, getting really, really hot, and then making the energy ball, and their
yeah,
faces light up when they go, I can feel that,
yeah,
and letting them know,
yeah,
now where do you want to put this energy? You can put it within your body, you can give it to someone, you can put it in a plant, whatever have you. And I
yeah.
and I love their expressions, which is when they feel it. And they make these amazing crystal grids on the carpet. So I've got lots of little crystals there, and they just make these beautiful patterns, but then also show them how to grab the energy from the crystals and
Mm,
mix them all together. And once again, we can give that up to the universe for healing, for the universe, of the planet, whoever needs it. And
mm,
that is wonderful. We also use singing bowls. And with the younger kids, I love using the brass singing bowls because I look at it and go, yep, I can see that. I can hear that. But then I go put water in the bowl. And so they can actually see the water jump and how vibration is affected. And they like, love it. And when
oh,
you've got 7 of the singing bowls, the crystal singing bowls, singing all at the once, it's like everyone's just like, it is beautiful. And one of the loveliest ones that I had, I remember the parents came with. Parents were laying down. The children placed crystals on their back and then
oh,
placed their hands
wow,
on and for healing. They just knew which crystals to use, where to put them, and where to put
wow.
their hands for healing. And yeah, I really, really love that. We
Yeah.
also incorporate the Native American drum in as well, and we do some drumming and the beat and the rhythm. And some of these kids are just like swaying, and I'm like, okay, let's ground you a bit more, shall we?
Mm.
It is magic. Yes.
I love, and if we can work with children, somebody's just asked what indigo crystal children are. So we'll ask that question in a second. So we've got Bella, we've got Lenny. We're just going through. There was a couple of cool extra people came in.
Yeah.
Leanne Denham bought us a hematite ring for her son last week. And when he was out, he sent me a picture of it broken. I said to him, it did its job and protected you. That's absolutely brilliant. I know, Jenny Doherty, you're on here as well. I'm so excited because I go to the UK in 4 weeks' time and I'm working with Jenny and we're just
Fantastic.
having an absolute ball. Um,
Good.
so Donna is here. She says hi to Jenny. Um, oh, Jenny Doherty, you are funny. She says she's just lost a stone. That was a stone in weight, and it was really funny because I told her to have smoothies. Now I have a smoothie every day, and I can't repeat what Jenny said, but the smoothies are making very quickly. And Jenny's granddaughter loves crystals. Now, her mummy died a year ago, so the fact that she's got crystals is a very healing, powerful thing for her as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Oh, Bella's coming home tomorrow. Oh, Bella, you'd be sad to leave. And Pat is from Plymouth. That's really lovely. Okay. So Lenny said he found a piece of hematite cut and polished in the shape of a dolphin. It's now one of his favorite necklaces. There we go. And it obviously does an awful lot for you. It's funny. I've got so many crystals, crystal jewelry, and it all hangs on a hanger. I don't wear it anymore. I wear the odd couple of crystal rings. Yeah, yeah. But I don't wear as much as I used to because I don't feel that that I need to.
Yeah.
So Michelle Murray, how lovely. Oh, Michelle from the UK. Come and see me when I'm in the UK, Michelle. We go back a long way. Um, you need to crack on with work. Okay, I will chastise you later, but we will speak to you again soon. And I'll send you the information about the amethyst. So I just wanted to, and you can share with me on this one. So Donna is on here, and Donna lost her husband just before Christmas. And we had a conversation the other day. I just felt that I needed to call her. There was something in a post that she put, and anyway, I rang her, and she obviously needed to talk. So we had a few tears and we had a few laughs and whatever. But she said, the frustrating thing, and I hear this so often, is when somebody dies and they keep saying to you when they're here before they die, I will get all of this done tomorrow. I will make sure you have all the passwords tomorrow. I will make sure. And then they go and die and you're left completely up to here in, I don't know what to do. And I want to say that, when I was talking to Donna, I realized what an incredibly strong, courageous lady that she is anyway, but she got through it. She dealt with it. And that was incredible, absolutely incredible. Yeah, I know it was very sad, Donna, but you dealt with it. But, you think about it at the time, and I get this when I speak to people, lots of people who've lost somebody, and they're angry because they didn't do this, they didn't sort it, and why have they gone? They can't leave me. It's a whole mixed bunch of feelings and emotions, and you must get that because you deal with people like that as well, don't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And what's the answer?
Well, the answer is we're going to give it to them now. Make sure you write everything down. And I think, don't just go, procrastinate. Don't go, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Do it.
Do it.
And make sure they know where it is, because, it's so hard for the people that are left behind to then have to, go through all your passwords. What was the password? Yeah, crazy.
And the fact that you had that thought in the first place, where did it come from? So it's spirit reminding you to get this done,
Yeah.
get it.
Well, it was funny because Donna says that Mike, her husband, is with her all the time, telling her what to do, telling her where to go, and all of those things, which is lovely. But Donna's lucky in that she knows that Spirit's there, knows that Spirit's talking to her. Yeah, do it. Yeah. But Donna knows that. But there are so many people who don't know that.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh,
yeah, I've done the same, Jenny. My daughter's got a copy of my will, and I've got power of attorney, and all of those things. It's so important.
absolutely.
Brittany for healing. Yep. And I know you're still wading through the quagmire, Donna, but you've done an incredible job. And I know Mike would be so proud of you. And I felt proud of you talking to you about it, So Robert Wilson, he carries a black tourmaline in his pocket when he goes out. You don't know what you don't know. Yeah, you
Correct.
don't know. Yeah. Once I did a reading for somebody once, and they said, my brother's died and we can't get into his computer. And it was like I'm going to say hassled, and I don't mean hassled, but I knew he needed help. And it was really weird because the thing that I saw, and I've actually got one myself now, is this symbol. I'll put it to one side. That symbol. And I told him that that's what I was seeing. And he went, "Oh my gosh, I know exactly what the password is." But Spirit gave me this, and I thought, I can't believe it. So Spirit are very clever. Oh, you know what? When I do these lives, it is the hamster hand. Yes, thank you, Nat. When I do this, the lives and readings in this room, I get things moving, and I get things, lights flashing. Something's just fallen on my bookshelf, which shouldn't have fallen. So they're approving of what we're chatting about here, which is really lovely.
Fantastic.
So
Yeah.
Donna's just said, even when you think you're totally organized, you probably aren't. Go through everything, please, with a fine-tooth comb. And I would absolutely ask everybody to do that. You know, it doesn't matter if you're on your own. There's still somebody's got to deal with you and your stuff afterwards, Michael. Yeah, Michael. So it is really, really important. And it reminded me actually of my lovely friend Mary. She died in, I think it was 2006. And I did her funeral, which was incredible. But Mary had a disembarkation suitcase. So when the soldiers left the army, they were given this little brown suitcase, and she had her husband's one. And in it was everything that was going to everybody, and every note, every bank detail, everything. It was all in that little brown suitcase. And when she died, it was just open it up and just give that to them, that to them, that to them. And that is perfect. So let's learn from this, because this is not the first time that I've heard this. So I've probably somebody said carry on prattling on. I love it.
Thanks. and Rosemary popped in there too. Yeah, so hi Rosemary. Hi Rose.
Saw Rosemary's name come up again. And Michelle's living in Dorking now. Yeah. Blue kyanite. I have still got some blue kyanite. This was given to me. You might know her, Reverend Annie from Noarlunga Church. Did you know her? Rose might know her. God, she was a gorgeous lady. She really was. And she was a great friend and respected my work a great deal, which was lovely. So, yes, of course, you know Mary, Mary Ewell Chapel, and I've forgotten her surname now. But anyway, yes. Greetings from the Netherlands in Utrecht. Lovely Nicolette. And I should say goedenavond, or it could be goeiemorgen. Yes, because it's the morning there. Caroline says she has a fire safe with all her documents and passwords, etc. Brilliant idea. But has somebody got the password to the safe? If anything happens to you, they'll be cursing you. They're all in there, but how do we get in there? Okay, so who have we got here? What does the blue? Which you mean this blue kyanite? Kyanite is an incredibly powerful stone. This was actually brought from Peru. And she brought 3 pieces back, and she knew who she had to give them to, and I was one of them, and I couldn't believe that I was one of them. So I was very blessed. If I could find my crystal healing book, I would, my crystal Bible, I would tell you. But in the meanwhile,
so I wear a blue kyanite ring. So kyanite is a beautiful crystal that does not hold energy, so it doesn't store it. It just lets it go, calming. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and it is. And I keep mine, again, it's on my desk, so it's important. Talk to us about your crystal grid stuff that you do, because I love those beautiful patterns that you do. And while you're doing that, I'll see if I can find my crystal book.
Okay, so the crystal grids are much like channeling a being. So I get told what to do and where to put the crystals and which crystals to use, and they are just absolutely beautiful. So like we were talking before about having symbols and things downloaded, I actually see the patterns and they show me and they move my hands. So I've got a few of them on my Facebook Clarity Facebook page, but also on Instagram. I've got some more there if you wanted to have a look. But the power that they have as well, and when the beings tell you where to put them and how to put them, but then also the activation of them, so that energy can come into everyone for the healing that is needed. There's a few people that use them for direction, so they can feel the direction then that they need to go in. So there's lots of different ways that we can use those crystal grids for. The majority of I love using clear quartz crystal points. And it doesn't matter if you've got your nice little laser ones or your big crystals, they still have the same effect, which is, really lovely. It's really good. And clear quartz being your master crystal as well, it has so much strength and energy. It's a master healing crystal. So, it's beautiful. That's why I like using that one.
That's I don't think I've heard of that one before. So, but this crystal, I found the crystal Bible. I moved all my
There it
books
is.
around. Yeah, I moved my books around the other day, and
Mm.
then I'm frustrated because I can't find anything. But it says here about kyanite, that it's a very delicate stone as well, because it breaks very easily. It's almost like selenite, which
Yep.
again shatters. Kyanite is excellent for attunement and meditation. It is tranquilizing and a powerful transmitter and amplifier of high frequency energies, stimulating psychic abilities and the intuition. With its ability to tune in to the casual level, this stone can help spiritual energy to manifest in thought. That's actually really nice, isn't it?
Mm.
So what is the crystal to put directly? And Michelle's got to go. Yes, come and meet us, please. What is the crystal to put directly on a pain?
I would use amethyst. Amethyst I've used if I've had a headache, making sure you have a small piece, not a big chunk, but to place on your head, a tumbled piece, and that
Yeah.
really, it's really, really lovely. And you connect your breath with it. So as the kids were talking about, oh my goodness, I can feel this crystal vibrate, I can feel it. You can also connect in with that vibration by putting on your head or putting on the pain, wherever it is, but breathe it in.
Mm.
Breathe in that vibration from the crystal. Yeah.
That's a really great. I've actually got my granddaughters tomorrow, and the next day, and we're going to do that tomorrow, which is really, which would be lovely. And I promise you, I won't do that with my amethyst geode, because
Good,
I'll probably,
good.
I'll probably crack my head open. Yeah, and it says it's an extremely powerful and protective stone with a high spiritual vibration, guards against psychic attack. Oh, that's a pet hate of mine, but never mind. Transmuting the energy into love,
Mm.
a natural
Mhm.
tranquilizer, and amethyst blocks geopathic stress and negative environmental energies. Its serenity enhances higher states of consciousness and meditation. Amethyst has strong healing and cleansing powers and enhances spiritual awareness. And it's funny, it's my birthstone as well, but even so, I still think it's one of the most wonderful crystals ever. Um,
Agreed.
yeah, and
Mm.
it's funny. I was just thinking about Jenny's just said I have several natural crystals plus polished ones, and the number of women that I know that carry a rose quartz crystal in their bra, and they said it's terrible though when you go out or you take your bra off at the end of the night and it just goes and knocks somebody's eye out.
I accidentally had one stuck when I went to have an X-ray. I had to take everything off, and it was just stuck between my chest plate. And I had an X-ray done, and I've got a third crystal. I couldn't find it anywhere, and I found it. It was stuck, and I said to the chiropractor later, I said, "That lump you find on the X-ray, it's not a lump, it's a crystal." And he just laughed at me. I'm like,
I just
so.
love it. So what would you say are indigo crystal children? Somebody did ask that question.
I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure what indigo crystal children are. I know that there was an age and years to go with them to determine where they fit in,
Mm.
but I don't know. I
And
don't
I
know.
don't know either, because there's so many different names of groups of children. And I
Mhm,
think, if you think you've got a spiritual child, they don't need to have a tag. You just need
mhm,
to know to be understanding of that and talk to them
yeah,
about that, and let
mhm,
them understand that any odd things that's happening to them are not odd. I tell mine that it's because they're special, but then you don't want them to go to school and say, "Oh, I'm the special child," because because then um, they'll get ridiculed at school.
mhm,
Rosemary says she's an indigo child. Oh, there we are.
mhm.
Rosemary, you're just
Yeah,
special generally. So,
absolutely.
what's a good stone to place somewhere to sell your house? Asking for a friend.
Mm. Do you know, I would honestly use, clear quartz. So, I don't know if anyone's heard of the, diamond of positivity. It's where you put double-ended clear quartz crystals in, every corner of the property, and then imagine and seeing a diamond shape coming up to the top and going down the bottom, and you can connect into that energy and raise that vibration of the property. So,
Mm.
if you're up for that, give that one a go.
Give that one a
Yeah,
go, Donna.
yeah.
Miss Silver says she's joined late. Watch the replay later. Would amethyst work for a touch of food poisoning? Of course it would, because it's a really, really good healing stone.
Mm.
Yeah.
So would shungite. Shungite's a great crystal that will take out impurities
Ah,
as well. Yeah,
that's an incredibly powerful stone, isn't it?
absolutely.
Again, came across that in South Australia. I'd never seen it before. Okay, tell your friends, Donna. That's definite. Okay,
Yes.
so there's other things. The other thing I want to talk about when somebody dies is the number of people who say, "Oh, they would cross the road so they didn't have to talk to me. They've stopped writing to me. They've stopped picking up the phone and speaking to me." Pick up the phone and speak to them.
Mhm,
I've got some beautiful friends who lost their son about 7 months ago. And I go over and visit them. I haven't been for a little while, but I go over and visit them. And yes, it's hard. And every time I'm there, I end up crying because
mhm,
it's so emotional. And he was the little boy that used to come in and play with the granddaughters and be up and down outside. But they just appreciate the fact that you go there and talk to them, and that you
mhm.
show you care, and that you can still talk about them. They haven't just disappeared. If you
Yeah.
actually think about it, if you have a book and you take a chapter out of the book's not a book anymore.
Mhm,
So even though that person's died, they're still part of your life, they're still part of your story, they're still important, and
mhm,
you should talk to the person about their loved one, because it's one of my pet hates. I know, Donna, people don't know what to say, but does that matter? Still go. These people are your friends. You were friends of both of them. It's like the little boy. We were all friends, so I think it's important that we go and talk to them. Jenny had the pleasure of meeting the family when she was over here, and they're just beautiful, beautiful people. And they ask the questions: Why us? Why did this happen to
mhm,
us? Why did we lose our child? Nobody knows. Nobody
mm,
knows the answer to that. And it's really, really sad, but they still need to talk to you. They still need to talk to their friends. So please remember that, everybody. If you know somebody that's lost somebody, make a point of talking to them. Ask how they are. And look, it doesn't matter if, like me, you end up like a blubbering wreck. You still go and oh, yeah,
yeah.
I hug my way through those tears. That's the only thing. Yeah, don't send flowers when somebody passes. Send them a month later when the flowers have stopped. That's a
Mhm,
really lovely thing to say,
mhm,
Donna. Yeah, yeah. And Miss Silver said she's got shungite, which is great. Yeah, and the
good.
tears are important, because
Mm,
sharing tears with somebody who's lost somebody is important as well. And I
mhm,
know when they lose somebody, it's like you just go numb, absolutely numb, and the tears are healing. So,
absolutely.
okay. So I'm watching the time flying. Um, Somebody asked me the question today, do we have one spirit guide through our lives or not?
Oh, so this is what I believe and what I've been shown is that we sit here, the center of us, and that we have a few guides around us, two or three around us. When their job is done in that stage of our life, they stand back, and then this whole group moves forward, and you get another lot. So it's
Yeah.
not just that they, that they're always going to be there, but they've done their bit, and then the next lot comes in. That's when you expand. That's when you grow. Yeah, that's what I have believed to be true.
And that's exactly what I sent a message back to my friends saying exactly that. And it is because we come in with one who suits us now. And then we have changes in our lives, and we have trauma, and we have marriages that break down, and another set of guides will step in. We move on to different teachers. Yes. So it's about them helping us to grow and develop. And we help them as well. Oh, Carolyn said the tears flowed like a river at Dad's funeral today. Oh, so blessed to have the support of my family and friends, and we'll send our love out to you as well, Carolyn. I saw the notice of Dad's funeral, and I did make a little comment. So and I have been thinking about you. So great answer there, Angela, because it's important to know that it's like the crystals. When we're done with the crystals, they go. We lose them. They break. And then something else steps in its place. And our lovely spirit guides are exactly the same. So, yep, now I've got some names for healing coming in. I had one earlier on, which I have got. Yeah, Carolyn. And look, it doesn't. I know, Carolyn, your dad was very, very, very old, but it doesn't make any difference how old they are. It still hurts. It's still part of your life that's gone. And doorkeepers, yeah, our guides are doorkeepers, absolutely. So, Carolyn, I've put you in my healing book. Most definitely. There was somebody else that asked for healing as well. So I'll scroll through the list in a minute, and I will find the people that ask for healing. I promise you I'll do that. Yes, so there are some other things I just wanted to cover. So on Friday, Angela, I head off 23 days short of 98 years old. Oh, bless him. Oh, well, he'll be celebrating up in the spirit world that birthday. Okay, so on Friday I'm heading off. I'm going off in my van for 4 weeks, my lovely motorhome. You haven't met my motorhome yet, have you?
No, not yet. No.
She's called Shirley Valentine.
Bless.
After the film, because Shirley Valentine in the film wanted to escape, and this is my form of escape. And it's my little home on wheels, and it's beautiful. So I've got 4 weeks trekking around Australia.
Excellent.
Bathurst, Canowindra, Melbourne. Then I hot foot it home. I finish in Melbourne on the 5th, and on the 6th I'm flying to the UK. Bad planning.
Whew, okay, right.
Bad planning. Anne and Gordon. Yeah, Anne and Gordon definitely got them. Any other names for healing? Let me know. So yes, that's what I'm doing. So my first stop is Bathurst, and I'm doing a show at the Bathurst Panthers up there, which is really lovely. And that's 2:00 in the afternoon. And then I head to Canowindra, and it's the week of the balloon festival, which is so exciting because you've got the hot air balloons all over the place. So the last time I went there, I had parked my van up, and there are all these red hot air balloons in the field in front of me, and I've got my van surrounded by these. It was just beautiful. And then, oh my gosh, they have there's an ABBA. I'm going to say retreat band. You know what I mean, don't you? A
Yes.
looky band.
Tribute band.
That's the word. Thank you. I think after having a 6 and 8-year-old all day, my brain's gone to sleep. I use an excuse every week. For the tribute band, they've got so many other things going on. And I am actually doing readings for 2 days, and I'm also doing a show. And the show is to raise money for Emily Thomas, who is going to be in the 2032 Olympics as a hammer thrower.
Oh, wow.
She's 16 and she is winning competitions all over the country at the moment. That is incredible. So, Emily, so that's a fundraiser for her, which is really good. And then from there, I go down to Romsey, which is north of Melbourne, and I've got a workshop. I've got three spaces left for the workshop. I've got one space left for a reading, which is on the 25th of April at 12:15. And if anybody wants the information, I can give you Nat's telephone number. I can actually put it in the comments. Actually, so Nat Romsey, if you want it, you have to look 0431 288 445. So that's in there, and there you go. And I didn't even know how to do that.
Good job.
And then on the 28th of April. Oh God, I'm so confused with. So I'm doing all these events in May and June in the UK, and April and May. Anyway, so the 28th of April, I'm then doing the Boho Lux Market, which is at Federation Square, and I'm doing 2 shows in the day and readings throughout the day. And then I'm going to Dramana for. It was supposed to be 7 days holiday, but I'm actually doing 2 days of readings there as well, and they're booking out really quickly. And then there's a retreat on the Mornington Peninsula where I'm doing a show. That was my last thing, and then I'm hot-footing it back to Sydney, where I then fly to the UK. And in the UK, I can't believe we've probably got 10 shows selling out like crazy in the UK. And my friend Jenny, she won't mind me saying this, when I first met her, I couldn't believe it. My jaw just dropped because she is such an incredible medium. She's so accurate. She can give you names, addresses, telephone numbers, inside trouser leg measurement, but she does it all with a real strong accent, love. All right, love, I've got your father. Yes, your father. He's telling me he was in hospital before he passed. And I just sat there. This is the very first time I sat there. My jaw was on the floor. And then some of the other things she came up with, I can't repeat it on here. But anyway, she knew that he had sores on his rear because he was showing her, but it was the way she worded it. Yeah, it was so funny, but a most incredible medium. And I'm so honored to be working with her. And I can't wait. And we've become the best of buddies as well, which is really lovely. So beautiful. I am coming to Adelaide in November. Now, I'm just trying to think of the direction. I nearly said route, but every time I use that word, I get into trouble. So I was looking at if I come from, so I'm doing Elizabeth, Adelaide, Christie's Beach, border town. Are you out of the way or are you on?
I'm the opposite direction.
Oh. Well, what if I come next year and come down to you?
That's a great idea. So from the Riverland to Adelaide is about 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours, and we're closer to Elizabeth than Christie's Beach, but much. But yeah, I should come down and say hello.
Yeah, and if I'm in Bordertown, you're about 3 hours north of Bordertown, aren't you?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll do it next year. Okay. Oh yeah, of course, Donna, you've met Jenny through the Zoom services at Brisbane Spiritual Church. We were talking about this the other day, and yes, she is an incredibly brilliant medium, and I'm amazing too. Thank you. That's why we're heavily booked. Well, we're just so excited about it. But she makes me laugh, Jenny, because she rings up and she says, "I got another booking. I got another booking."
Beautiful.
Do you like my thumbs up?
That's cool. That's good.
And good. Sometimes if I do a double thumbs up, it didn't work. So it normally only works on Zoom. Now that's interesting. If I do a double thumbs up on look.
There we go.
I just think that is so exciting.
Really cool.
So excited. Yes, we're a very good a double act. We are a very good double act. And what I love is we work as a tag team. So she does one, I do one, she does one, I do one. And what I love about that is we are actually working within each other's energy. So what she's built up, I work in. What I built up, she works in. So it's a continual flow of working within that magical energy. So healing names, please. And she can come back over here, but it won't be till 2025 Christmas. And I will make sure we always do work and shows, but I will make sure that we are booked out better than we are. I can't believe I've actually got a show on Wednesday night this week. So I have my granddaughters all day today and then do my live. Tomorrow I've got my granddaughters and then I do some more packing. And then Wednesday I have my granddaughters all day and then I'm doing a show. I might have to take matchsticks to keep my eyes open or something.
Yes, yes.
Anyway, but so what else can you share with us, Angela, that is of interest to people? I mean, I'm fascinated by the light language and the beings and all of that. It is, I think it's really important to know that we're not the only beings on this planet and that the universe is a big, big place. And just because we're, we're inhabited on Earth here, doesn't mean to say that all the other planets aren't. So if we're inhabited here and we're intelligent beings, why can't there be intelligent beings? And why can't they work with us? Which is what Mary Rodwell is trying to establish. I like her work. I like the fact that she's super intelligent. Because, sometimes people don't. Okay, this sounds, I think this might come out wrong, but I know what I mean. If you're not super intelligent and got the backing for that, people think you're crazy.
Yep.
The number of times I've been told I'm crazy.
Yeah. I'm the Fruit Loop. I'm the orange one. I'll take that. I own that. That's okay. So I suppose, like, to answer your question, I believe, and I've been shown, we're working on dimensional. So I've been working with Thoth for quite some time, and his being and his presence, and showing the healing, showing the formula for healing is absolutely unbelievable. So yeah, but when is this happening? This is the other thing. Time is an illusion. It doesn't exist. It was created to conform into this society of Earth that we have. But it doesn't exist. Most certainly. We're working on these beautiful dimensions, and we can feel all of them coming in together. The veil is getting thin and we can feel all of this. So yes, absolutely. Also, people watching. I love people watching.
Oh yes.
You can actually see the different beings in the humans. So when you see a person like hopping, so to speak, or having a bit of a jump to their step, if you actually have a look, you can see their tail that they're balancing on. They're a reptilian being. Fascinating. I've come across this werewolf, believe it or not, and he was just furry. He just had all of this hair everywhere, and you could even see the structure of his face. I'm like, yeah, you're a werewolf energy. Then there's beautiful mantis being. Their head was huge, and their fingers were so long and elongated. And like, you're from the mantis realm. You can really see other beings and where they're from in their human form. It's amazing, absolutely amazing.
I get a little bit upset sometimes because people think that we're being infiltrated for a negative reason. Now, I don't believe that. So that's my own personal belief. I feel that they're bringing healing and learning and knowledge and teaching. I feel that there is a better purpose to that. I don't feel that it's a negative purpose at all. So Lorraine's seen a mantis being with a medium at the church. Yeah. So
Beautiful.
but I think it's fantastic that we've got all of these beings that are around us that want to work with us and help us. So why can't we work with them? And I think that's exactly what you did when you did that healing for me. You were channeling them and allowing them to work through you, which they did. I really could do with another one of those. I keep saying that, but I really could. um, and yeah, what you and Melissa and Rosemary did was incredible. And I remember I remember sitting up, Chris. Yes, I remember sitting up, and I remember I was shaking. And I know that something really major had happened. And I remember I could hardly walk. When I put my feet on the floor, I could hardly walk. But it was, and I felt as if I'd been, what's the way I was going to put it? I feel as if somebody put a pipe cleaner up through the whole of my being and just cleaned it all out. That's what it felt like.
Mm-hmm.
But it was incredible. And I would have one of those healings anytime.
Perfect. It is being it. Trying to find words. Sorry, Val, I've caught it from you. Being able to alchemize the heavy, dense energy into light, fine frequency so that your body can absorb more light. Because your body knows how to heal itself. We're here to help alchemize our energy for you, to show you, to remind you for that healing.
Yeah. And we're made. Somebody asked me this the other day. We are actually made up of energy. So somebody, I think it was my optician actually, was talking about his brother that had passed just before Christmas, and he said we sense things, we see things. A number plate with his brother's birth date on, and silly things like that. And they said, was it a sign? And I said, well, of course it was. They're using their energies to be able to show you, and they can do it in number plates. They can do it in any way. So, and we are made up of energy. So when we die, when the physical body dies, the spirit doesn't. Energy cannot be destroyed. Einstein said that energy cannot be destroyed. So what happens to that energy? That energy stays around the family members, friends, and we can be, and I love this description. If I shine a light through that prism, the light shines in lots of different directions. And I feel that that's what happens with the spirit when we go into the spirit world. And part of us can go and, sit on a riverbank and fish all day if we want to, or part of us can be with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 members of a family if they want to. And of course they will want to, because they loved and cared for you when they were here. So they can then use that vibratory energy to be able to help and heal those that are still left behind. So when Donna says that she knows that Michael is around her and showing her this, that, and the other, absolutely, my opinion, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it's important too, because someone goes, oh, that was a sign, but can I have a signier sign? It's not a sign's a sign. Take it.
It's funny, yeah, because people say, what sort of sign? And I get feathers and I get certain things that just like the book falling down on my bookshelf up there, which I didn't touch. That must take such a lot of effort for the spirit world to do. So give them some slack, people. So if they send you a feather, go, oh, it's a feather that means something. If you see something out of the corner of your eye, just go, do you know what I used to do when I first used to get that? It was when I first started doing this work. And I used to go, hello, I know you're here. I don't know who you are, but thank you for being there. And the more I did that, the more frequently it happened. And then I was being able to recognize who they were. It was fantastic. So they don't want to frighten you. They're very careful with what they show you and how fast they show it to you. So let them have their little bits and understand that those little bits for them are massive. It takes a lot of energy. So Miss Silver says her cousin does light language healing. I too thought she was crazy in the beginning. But the healing that I received was above and beyond anything I had had before. And that's exactly how I felt. I thought these 3 beautiful ladies were all nutcases. It was like being in a witch's coven. But it wasn't. Donna's just said, since Michael passed, every clock in my daughter's family's home and mine is fast, slow, or stopped.
Yeah. Time doesn't exist. It's an illusion.
Exactly. And talking about time, on my last day in Melbourne, I'm going to be expanding time so I can get home on time
Nice,
for my flight. It will
nice.
be right.
But you can also extend that and know that time doesn't exist and jump the timeline, or
Yes. Yeah.
give yourself more time. Know that you
Yeah.
have plenty.
Yeah. Well,
Mm.
I was saying that to my son. My son-in-law thinks I'm a crazy person with this work that I do. He doesn't understand it at all. And when I told him what I'd done, bookings and getting it all wrong, I said, "Oh, it's all right. I'll just expand time." And he just looks at me and rolls his eyes at me. Um, Bella's beautiful friend M, who died, she always sends her rainbows.
Oh,
Now,
beautiful.
and when Bella was she's still in the UK at the moment, but while she's been there, she saw a full double rainbow. It was a
Wow.
complete rainbow, but
Whew.
it was a double rainbow. That was pretty magnificent, Bella.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, and I know M tries really hard in every way. And she said earlier on that she celebrates M's birthday every year with she buys a present and gets a cake and all sorts of things like that. And that's what we should do. They're still
Mm,
here and they celebrate those things with us. So don't ignore them. And as I
mm,
said, don't ignore the people who've lost somebody. Ring them, speak to them, say that you care and
mm.
you're thinking about them. You don't have to do anything else. It's just, and as Donna said, don't send the flowers when they've died, send the flowers a month later, because that is just as, or that would probably be much more important.
Or even send those flowers when they're alive. So
Absolutely.
so we know how much they care. Why
Yeah.
wait until they die? Mm,
Well, sadly, Michael passed very unexpectedly.
mm,
So that was, if you've got somebody that's ill, yeah, you can do that.
yeah.
Send them flowers is really lovely. But when they
Mm.
pass unexpectedly, it's not so easy to do. But anyway, gosh, I could sit talking to you all night. And sorry, I do prattle on a bit, but I do get excited about all of this stuff. But I was so excited when I invited you and you said yes. But if anybody wants to have a look at anything that Angela does, it's no, I wrote it down. Clarity, tell us.
Head over to my Facebook page, Clarity, Emotional and Spiritual Harmony. Send me
Yeah,
a message. I'd be love to have a chat with you.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Jenny Easton, look forward to seeing you as well. And Nat says send groceries or home delivered food too. Cooking is the last thing people want to do
yeah.
when newly bereaved. Do you know it's so I'm supposed to be finishing anyway, but when my lovely people lost their son, they're a Nigerian family, and I'd gone to visit them in Brisbane when they were living there. And they made me something called jollof rice, and they said it was a traditional. We always share with family and friends. And when this all happened, I thought, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? So I made a great big tub of this jollof rice and chicken. And I said to them, if it's rubbish, throw it in the bin. And that night, they sent me a photograph of plates that were clean and an empty bowl. They'd eaten the whole thing. But yeah, food is important because you're not thinking, you're not focusing properly. So
Mm.
yeah, and you've already forgotten what Facebook page, Adam. Oh dear, dear. Clarity, emotional and spiritual harmony. And you live up north, don't you, Adam? So, but even so, we can get healings, we can get distant healings, we can get online healings.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we
Yes,
can.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Angela, it's been so lovely, and I can't wait to come back. And I'm seeing Rosemary in uh when am I seeing Rosemary? November. So I'm going to get one of them. There are healings from her. If she wouldn't mind, I'm sure she wouldn't, because I know how. Oh, Melissa,
Thank you, Melissa.
she's here. And look, Lorraine has put your profile link up there as
Oh,
well.
thank
Um,
you.
See, I could have done that, couldn't I? But anyway, this is Val Hood, who's had an 8 and a 6-year-old all day. So, but thank you. And Melissa is the other witch with the cauldron that were giving me this healing that took me apart and shoved me back together again and made me feel incredible. So I thank you for that. And I was talking, Melissa, I don't know if you heard about the your houseboat that I stayed on, and Rosemary and I being absolutely freaked out by whatever it was that made our boat rock that night. It was incredible. So, but it's a very special part of the world. It really is a very special part of the world. Anyway,
Absolutely.
okay. Well, Angela, it's been lovely catching up with you, and I often think about you. I often see your stuff, and of course, I lost you on Facebook because of my hack. But I often remember coming up and doing the dem under the twinkly lights, and especially that healing that you three gave me. It was just incredible. So thank you very, very much for coming on here tonight. I know you're super busy as well with everything you do. I'm sure everybody's enjoyed it. And don't forget, people, any names for healing, I do pick them up afterwards. And anybody else that comes on afterwards, there's a lot of people come back and watch this after the event. So Clarity, Emotional and Spiritual Harmony is Angela Faye. And because we won't find you as Angela Faye, we'll find you as Clarity, won't we?
Correct. Yeah. Angela Faye is my private page. So go to Clarity, which is better.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
and
yeah.
if you're choosing, I actually have a little channel sitting here for healing and for blessings if you would like to receive. Yeah. So if
go on then.
Just be comfortable taking a breath, and we're going to bring them through for you. Okay. El forza kole mesto hole bella, manito le kova lela, uvela male beto elo verlele vedutue, vorante mane turuvelele, monoto pareke aleno, arrete chuvalena mette. Uelena.
I felt that. I felt that. That was pretty powerful. Thank you, Angela. And I should have asked you to do that earlier on, but that was probably more special to do it just then. So, oh gosh, that's made me go all goosebumpy. Carolyn, I've put your mum's name in my healing book already. But thank you, everybody, for joining me. Don't forget, I'm on again next week. And I'm going to be on my travels. So you'll be getting me in Shirley. I'll be in my little van. And I can, because it's my home from home, and I've got all my little mini offices here ready to go. Yeah. There you go. Lorraine said she saw that a light radiated from around you. Yeah, it's funny because when you were blowing, I was breathing in, and it just I felt, and I've gone calm. I feel so different. That's really lovely. Okay, I don't want to go. I'm enjoying myself.
Well, thank you, Val, for asking me on. I've had a blast, as I always do. Love talking about this. I love sharing, and your beautiful community. Thank you so very much for every single one of you. Every one of your messages are beautiful.
Well, everybody's responding to that, and I think a lot more people will have felt what I've just felt as well. But thank you for sharing that. That was pretty special, and thank you for your time and sharing your clarity, emotional and spiritual healing. Don't forget the page. Go and have a look. It's on here in various disguises. But thank you so much,
Wonderful.
and I'll see you all next week. Yes, and yeah, Rosemary Rodder, we've yeah, Rosemary made a comment about you too. Much love to you both. Yeah. Okay, and back to you. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. And we will go. I've gone 20 minutes over, which is not unusual for me, but anyway. But love to everybody, healing to everybody. Remember, anybody that you know that has lost somebody, pick up the phone and speak to them. It doesn't matter if you become a blubbering wreck like I do. do it, because it is so important. And, you know, send out those healing, get yourself a little book, and it doesn't matter what the book is. And you write people's names down when you know that they need healing. If you see somebody walking along the street, watch their energies, because you can see those that need healing. And you just imagine that you're sending that little laser beam of light towards them, and know that they're going to get that healing. So they are super fun and interesting. Lots of positive comments tonight, Angela. So thank you. I'll have to get you on again sometime. And
sounds like fun. Yes.
Yeah, we will definitely do that. But I'm going to go, and I'm going to switch us off. I'm sorry, people, but I'm going to have to knock you off into oblivion. But love you all, and thank you for. I couldn't do this without you guys. Although, Angela, you and I could just sit and talk to each other, couldn't we?
Absolutely.
But it wouldn't be the same without you, beautiful people. So thank you all, and I'll see you next week. So lots of love, lots of healing, and lots of blessings to every single one of you. And take that beautiful blessing that Angela just gave us, that will resonate within you, and just feel it. When we finish tonight, just feel what was sent to you. I felt it, and I can still feel it. It's almost like my body's gone goosebumpy and resonating with that. Okay, we love you too, Bella. Okay, all right. Bye-bye, everybody. Lots of love.